Let's try that.
Attention.
Oh, look at
New
that, a snow
special
squall
event
warning.
has been
Okay,
issued.
yay, I think we fixed it. I think we fixed it. YouTube, can you guys hear me now? I didn't have a microphone plugged in. Oh, my Lanta. Awesome. You guys can hear me. Yay. Welcome in, guys. Morgan and Halo and Bro and everybody else. Welcome in. If you're on TikTok, welcome, guys. This is our first weather live stream in like forever. My apologies in real time for not going live yesterday. One, I was fixing computer stuff all day, getting a new stream set up. If you guys can't tell, there's new stuff, lots of new stuff, which is exciting. And we almost got hit by a tornado last night. So also that was really interesting. So a lot of the times, you guys know this. If you're a long-term watcher, you know this. I don't typically do severe weather coverage if we're in a decent risk zone for tornadoes or severe weather or anything, just because we have the kiddos and all that stuff, etc. That I get to get really excited about it, and I like to wait for our storms to get here and then watch them and film them. So that's what I do. So for everybody that was hit by storms yesterday, I hope you guys are doing okay. I know we had a pretty decent-sized tornado. It looked like a multi-vortex tornado go through eastern Illinois yesterday afternoon, and we're kind of waiting to still see what looks to be EF2 potential damage out of that tornado. We had an EF0 confirmed in our lovely county this morning here. I can't tell y'all where that's at because I don't want to get my location out, but in northwestern Kentucky, we ended up having a confirmed tornado last night, literally 5 minutes up the road, so that was kind of crazy. But anyways, that is done. Severe weather is done. We have snowfall to talk about. We have winter weather to talk about. And we have what is going to eventually be January feels like weather going to be entering the picture here. Now, you guys can see there's a snow squall warning that just came out up here towards Ohio. I believe that is up here in northern Ohio. I'm going to just take a guess. Up here towards Akron and Cleveland here. We got lots of snow on the backside of this low coming in here. Lots of moisture still left behind here with this frontal system. A little bit of dry air aloft here giving us the chance for some snowfall. And you can really see the snow machine kind of cranking out here. Let me actually switch over to a brighter color here so you guys can see a little bit better. There we go. Snow, there it is. Backside of our low pressure system. Our low is actually, I believe, well up here into the northeast, somewhere up in here, but we've got moisture coming in on the backside of this. Very, very cold area. We have an Arctic high up to the north here in Canada, allowing for this moisture, like I said, to fall as snowfall. So if you're in the Great Lakes here, you're getting snowfall. Pittsburgh's getting slammed with snowfall right now. We got Williamsport as well here. We've got snow falling down as far as Cincinnati. Indianapolis, I think this is just the radar. Yeah, this is just the radar here, so I'm not seeing any snow from that right now. We got a heavier band of snowfall working its way through Fort Wayne, Indiana right now. So once again here, seeing that snowfall start to accumulate here. I think Grand Rapids, St. Joseph here, we'll start to see some heavier snowfall here as the lake effect gets going here up towards northern Michigan. We've had some blizzard conditions up here towards UP, Michigan over the last 24 hours. So it's definitely been a wintry return here. And like I said, we're going to continue to see the return to winter, especially as we head into next week. The 5 to 7 day model runs, at least the European model and its weeklies, are showing some cold air, really cold air, and it may reach down as far as the deep south. So we're going to have to see how that plays out here. Kentucky for January, going to be cold. It's going to be very, very cold more than likely here. I do see, if you guys can see on the top of your screen up here, there's a temperature outlook and a precip outlook. That will actually update, I believe, should update here in just a few minutes. Okay, so it's still on today's, or yesterday's, so it should update. I do think we're going to see a trend with more blue showing up as we head into next week, or at least the 7th and beyond here. But right now, it's staying above average with our temperatures. For most of the country, I would say at least neutral to above average, and then we'll see below average temperatures trend here. And we're going to talk about what all that looks like here in just a momento. Believe it or not, we got some rain down here in Texas, and we also have some snowfall falling near Carlsbad, New Mexico, Midland, Texas here, seeing some snow showers here this afternoon here. Most of this up here north where it's still pretty decently warm, I would say, in central Texas. I would say warm in terms of above 32 degrees. We are seeing rain. So, like I said here, not going to be seeing any snowfall with that up there, but some rainfall going to be moving into you guys. Up here towards the northeast, well past Maine here, we got lots of heavy snow falling up here towards Nova Scotia, Boston getting in on some rain here, and then, like I said, Pennsylvania here getting in on some decent snowflakes and snow showers flying in here. I do want to say, I think the squall line squall line. The snow squall line here is associated here with northern Ohio, so you can see those higher contours of colors here, bringing some higher snowfall banding into Cleveland and around 90 here. Erie, going to see, so Buffalo also going to see some higher snowfall totals. It's typical this time of the year you guys get your snowfall. This is actually where most of the Northeast and the Great Lakes see most of their snowfall. It's not from these, giant winter storms that come through. It's also through the lake effect banding snowfall that sets up here. So once again, we're going to be watching out for that. Outside of that here, most of the country is actually pretty quiet. And we're going to really keep that trend for a couple days. And then we're going to see our Arctic air mass release itself as we head into January. So we're going to go ahead and talk about all that here. Let me go ahead and switch over. Make sure I've got everything pulled up here for you guys. We're going to talk some models here. There is the chance for some severe weather on Saturday for potentially Louisiana and Mississippi. And we're going to talk about that first. And then we're going to get into all of the lovely, lovely stuff that comes in with it here. First question. I rearranged the model map here so you guys can see it a little bit better. Is it more visual now that it's zoomed in? I do want some feedback on what you guys think. I've just literally spent the last 2 days setting this new setup up. So I'm hoping you guys like it. I know there's a lot going on, but hopefully you guys can see it just a little bit better, just a slight bit better. It's 18 degrees in northwestern PA. Yeah, it doesn't shock me. It doesn't shock me at all. All right. Like I said, we'll talk here with the models here. I do want to mention as well, I think this, let me go back to SPC here real quick. No severe weather expected the next 3 days. Yeah, SPC, I want to read this to you guys. They actually almost issued a day 6 slight risk overnight. I don't know if it's for wind or for tornadoes. We'll take a look at that here in just a moment, at least the potential for that. It says increasing convective potential is anticipated late Friday evening into Saturday morning across the Gulf states from Louisiana to North Florida and into parts of the deep south. Run-to-run predictability and spread across guidance remains less than ideal for timing location. So basically, they don't know exactly where mesoscale features are going to happen at. Clearly, that's not going to be known yet because it's not Friday or Saturday. We'll know that as we get closer to this event. But it does look to be that the potential for a 15% slight risk could come out in future outlooks for severe weather this Friday into Saturday. So, we may be doing some coverage Friday night. We'll see what happens. We'll see what plays out here, but we will see. It looks to be a subtropical jet stream is going to start to potentially enter the picture. And what that does is it streams in moisture and humidity and all of the lovely things that the Deep South likes to see during January, February for severe weather season, as their severe weather season officially kicks off. Technically, it already kicked off in November, but the Deep South does see cold air masses come down. You guys can see some snow flurries here and there, but the pattern will not be supportive of that. As of right now, we are going to be looking at the potential for some isolated severe weather on Friday into Saturday. So if you live in those areas, yeah, that'll be something we're going to be talking about. And I think I saw CSU. This is just a model predictor, kind of gives us an idea of where we could see some severe weather at. And this is the CSU guidance showing, I believe, day 5 and day 6. Yeah, so this is what they're seeing, a potential for some isolated severe weather maybe on Friday. This will be Friday into Saturday morning. So northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, maybe Mississippi here. We'll be watching out for some isolated severe weather. That'll be on Friday potentially. This is not a risk zone from the Storm Prediction Center. This is just a model that kind of gives us an idea of where it could happen at. And then we get to the day 7. Nope, day 6. Day 6, maybe some isolated severe weather in the deep south. So it does look to be, we're going to have a little clipper system that's going to come down here, a little shortwave trough going to dip down here on that eastern side of that trough. You typically can get some severe weather associated in this vicinity here. So that's kind of what my thought process is. Is it going to be anything like what we just had yesterday? Probably not. I will mention, guys, yesterday was a really, really rare situation. Models were really not showing a bigger severe weather event until about 13 to 18 hours before yesterday's event happened. Like, we had a major uptrend with our trough position and with how our trough was basically featured yesterday and the day before. And I would really say about 3 days prior to yesterday's event, we started to see uptrends for, what was yesterday's little tornado event across the Ohio Valley and the lower Kentucky region yesterday. Not a lot of confirmed tornadoes, but enough warnings were issued yesterday to definitely make the risk zone validate, I would say. Pretty decent squall and develop. We saw instability uptrend. We saw sheer definitely uptrend, and we got to watch these little troughs that come down because they may not be these super favorable like risk zones that are calling for tornado outbreaks or anything like that, but these little troughs that come down, especially during this time of the year, can pack enough punch to produce, severe weather episodes, especially in the deep south, the Ohio Valley region, and even in the mid-Atlantic as we go towards, this time of the year. So something that we are watching very, 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 very closely. Let's go ahead and go back here and look at models here. I want to start with the latest European run, and we'll kind of go ahead and take a look at our jet stream here. Remember, we always take a look at our jet stream, gives us an idea of what's happening. And if you were to take this trough, this is our trough that just brought our severe weather yesterday. This is our low up here into Canada. Very, very strong trough here. If we were looking at this trough ejecting across the same region in about 3 or 4 months, yesterday would have more than likely been a significant tornado outbreak. We had so much wind shear in the atmosphere, barely any cape, and this time of the year, as I always mentioned, very minimal cape is what you need for storms to fire off in, to, become linear, become supercellular, or anything like that. This would have caused a more than likely tornado outbreak if this would have been in March, April, and May. The good thing is it did not. These type of troughs positioned the way they are bring, just like I said, a big pack punch of wind shear. There's usually lots of cold air on the backside. If you were in the Ohio Valley yesterday and you were in the 60s and the 70s, we were 73 degrees here yesterday. We dropped to 33 overnight, and it is 25 degrees to 50-degree difference between yesterday's high and today's high where we're at. These make a difference, a big difference. So the good news is we're going to get this trough out of here by tomorrow. And as we head into the rest of the week, look what sets up. We get a ridge setting up over here. It's going to keep the west coast pretty quiet. A couple little low pressure systems well to the southwest. And then look at this. You know what this is, right? This is what we call northwesterly flow. And northwesterly flow is back again. What this will do is it will bring below average temperatures back through the Ohio Valley, back through the Northeast. We'll be locked in this cold air pattern again. Brutal cold, probably not right now, but this is where the European model and the GFS model, and I'll show both solutions. This is the Euros first. This is where things start to change after we get past this weekend. We do see that ridge start to lift to the north here. We can see this is our little clipper system that we're going to have to watch for. It looks to be positively tilted, so not by anywhere means as significant as the trough that we just had yesterday to today was, but we are going to have to watch for that low to develop, and the position where that low develops at will depend on what mode of severe weather we get. I can tell you right now, based off of looking at this trough for Friday into Saturday, this is a very nice little weak shortwave trough, but the way it is positioned would mostly be a damaging wind event. So not saying we can't see a couple of isolated tornadoes with this setup, but it definitely favors a more linear mode just based off of the northwesterly flow that's going to be set up with this. You typically, with a more supercellular setup or a tornado setup, you want to see your trough kind of going like this with your low kind of sitting like this with the jet stream pulling to the north. You're seeing your jet stream pull from the northwest to the southeast here, so this favors more of a damaging wind threat for this area. I would say a very low end threat. What all that looks like, I don't know the answer to right now because it's still a little far out, but we're gonna have to watch this little shortwave trough, little piece of energy here, and then take a look at this. We go into Saturday and it looks like we're gonna see another little ridge decide to build here. This actually almost resembles a little miniature mega block pattern. This is what we talk about during the summer times, and you got a low on one side of your ridge, the low on the other side of your ridge. You can sometimes get weird events to happen, severe weather, flooding, all that stuff, etc. Little omega sets up just briefly Saturday into Sunday, and then this is where I think we've got to figure some things out. Past next Tuesday, things get a little bit tricky. This is where the European model does disagree with the GFS, and it says, hey, we're going to bring Canada back down into the United States next week, and we're going to bring some cold air. This would be our flow next week. And what this does is, one, it limits any severe weather from happening, so that would be great to start the year off. But two, it sets up a potential wintry snowstorm pattern. I haven't quite yet seen a moisture signal or a source for like a gigantic winter storm or anything like this, but look at this flow, guys. This would be a ridiculous jet stream. This would put most of the eastern half and central half of the United States here locked in a cold air pattern. This is what you want to see for snow potential. I'm going to use that word very, very closely here, or very, very carefully. Snow potential. This is what you want to see in the deep south if you want snow. Are we going to get snow? I don't know the answer to that. We're still a little ways out, but this is a pattern you want to see, kind of like we saw last year where we saw that, or this year where we saw that snowstorm in the deep south. The models haven't quite yet picked up on any wintry precip with this yet down south. They have in the Ohio Valley. But we're going to have to see how this trends and all of that stuff. And then after that, things change again, another dip in the jet stream. So you can see what things are going to do as we go into January here. It's definitely going to get pretty busy. It's going to get a little active in terms of precip, all of that. And then as we go towards the end of, the middle of the month here, things become a little bit more uncertain on what is going to happen with this, with our jet stream here. So in terms of the temperature anomalies, I'll show you guys the differences. I'll go to the GFS here in just a minute. Here is our blue blob. This is what's causing our below average temperatures for today and for the next couple of days here in the Ohio Valley. A little bit of scattered below average temperatures further to the west, and then we do have, like I said, above average temperatures, at least in the Euro, kind of trending further back again into this region as we head toward the weekend, and then we will see maybe, just maybe, some cold air down here. Look at these, this is interesting. In reality, guys, we sit here and we talk about, we're not going to talk about, temperature outlooks over 7 to 10 days out. In reality, this is in range. And when you see a signal like this, you can't ignore it. My thing is, I want to see trends before I start saying, hey, we're locking this in. But this is a big change, especially for the deep south here. You guys have been kind of mild to start the winter out here. This would be a pretty big change. We would see some pretty decent cold air temperatures kind of swinging down south here as we head into the new year. This would be between, next Monday and next Thursday. So a little bit of time still to figure out what's going to happen with this, but definitely a signal here for potential cold air mass coming down here. Are we going to see snow with this? We'll see. We'll see what happens, but that'll be in place. And then guess what happens right after that? We get warm, and then another cold air mass. So you can see what January is going to be like, kind of just in a nutshell already, based off of what the Euro is showing here. And in reality here, I'll just show you guys this, because why the hell not at this point? These are the actual air temperatures of what the European model is kind of signaling here. You can see right now, this is what we have going on. Look at our 32-degree temperature line, guys. Look at this. This is everywhere above the black line is below 32 degrees for actual air temperatures. If you want to be warm right now, there you go. That's the only places outside of the Gulf states here that is above 32 degrees. Most of the United States is somewhere below 32 degrees right now with that front that came through. And these cold fronts, like I say, this time of the year, severe weather on one side, snow and cold air on one side, they pack a punch and they bring cold air. Look at these temperatures up here into the Dakotas. We got below zero temperatures, teens across the Ohio Valley here, the Midwest here, the plains. So, it's normal to see this time of the year. It's almost January. So here's the good thing, though. As we head toward the middle of the week, those temperatures will slightly warm back up. We'll finally be above 32 degrees by Wednesday afternoon. Good thing, because I run a 5K on Wednesday afternoon, and I am not thrilled to run in 32-degree weather, but it is what it is. You can see a little bit of a ridge start to build back in here, allowing for some warm air to trend back up. And then as we head into the weekend, we try to get those temperatures back in the 50s and 60s, but it does look to be that this trough that's going to hang around here is going to keep most of the Ohio Valley below 32 degrees for much of the week. You were in that snow squall. I actually was about to message you, TJ. I thought about you for like a split second. I was like, I wonder if he's in that there. I don't know exactly where you're at, but I know you're probably in that. You were in that there. So, but we're going to keep, the snowpack that does fall with any of the snow that we get this week here across the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes, it's going to stick around. And the reason why it's more than likely going to stick around is because we're not going to get above 32 degrees. So that's kind of what's going to happen here with this. And another thing too is, as we go into next week here with that, brutal, I would say not brutal, but that colder Arctic air mass. Look at this, guys. This is as we go towards next week. These are actual air temperatures if the European model were to be right late next week. This is your 32-degree temperature line next week. So the Florida Panhandle, 30s? Mid-30s for, air temperatures going into next Thursday, Friday. So this, like I said, will be interesting to kind of alter our weather pattern. We'll have to see how things play out. Hold on one second. Okay. We'll just have to see how this plays out. This will be interesting. I don't see 60s and 70s and 80s coming back anytime soon right now. Unlike what we just had for Christmas, it's probably going to be a while before we see that happen again. Unless some things decide to change. Yeah, the wind is crazy. The wind is absolutely crazy, especially if you're up near Canada, the Great Lakes area. It's definitely cranking. And then after that, things just get really uncertain. But just by the looks of this, I know this is 360 hours out, and I don't like to, speculate or anything, but we're going to watch this. We're going to watch this going toward the middle of the month, because it looks like Canada wants to play a visit, is what it looks to be. We'll see how this plays out. But there's your GFS, or your European temperature anomalies, as well as jet stream. Also, guys, thank you for all the gifts. B Seals, Puddle, TJ, thank you guys for all the love. I appreciate it very, 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 very much. let's talk about the precip, and then we'll change and we'll do everything we just did, but with the GFS model, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. Here's our big upper level bomb cyclone, 977 millibars. You can see once again your 32-degree temperature line in here. Makes a lot of sense on what's happening here. As we go into the week here, that system will slide east. We are going to have a couple more chances for the upper Great Lakes here and the northern and central Ohio Valley for a couple little clipper systems to bring in some snow here. You can once again see that northwesterly flow bringing in here, that blue popping up here. That is what we call clipper system snow, or Great Lake effect snowfall, or banding, whatever you want to call it. Another band comes through Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then another little system, and this one actually may bring some decent snowfall totals. We're gonna have to watch this Wednesday into Thursday here. European showing a pretty decent little clipper system again for the New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. There's another snow squall warning. We love that. That is in the exact same area, almost up near Erie. So those are for heavy banding snowfall that are coming in, if you guys don't know what snow squall warnings are. As I was saying, though, going into Wednesday and Thursday here, we are going to have to watch for a decent little snow event once again. And then this will allow for some more accumulation, and then that'll be out of here. And then maybe another little system again into Friday and Saturday. And then here comes our little low, and this just kind of pops up last minute here, Friday into Saturday. The good thing is I just don't see a lot of organization as of right now with this severe little isolated severe weather setup potentially on Friday into Saturday. We are just going to watch it and see what happens, because as things always can change, but we are going to watch for some thunderstorms, some rainfall here, and maybe some isolated severe weather depending on how this trough shapes out. We may get a damaging wind slight risk or something like that in the future outlooks, as the Storm Prediction Center has mentioned. It's absolutely possible. Excuse me, and then that will slide east. You can see the cold front sliding east here, and then we will kick that system out of here by Saturday and Sunday, and we'll come back into the cold air. And then after this, things just get a little bit uncertain. I'm not going to really talk too much into the future. Could we see some snowflakes in northern Georgia and the Appalachian Mountains as we head towards the middle of next week? Sure. And then after that, like I said, things get really, really uncertain at this point. But yeah. That is your European model, and I meant to mention as well, let me actually just look at instability for just a second. Severe weather season is full round. It's all year long. The Deep South, it's already ongoing. Technically, it's your season already started. It just hasn't had anything yet. Yeah, so here is the instability for Friday into Saturday. Not a lot to work with. So I don't expect this unless this uptrends or unless our trough changes or shape of our trough. I don't expect a lot of severe weather on Friday into Saturday. Maybe a little wind risk, maybe a little slight risk for some damaging winds, maybe a very, very brief isolated tornado threat. But once again, not really looking at anything super, super, super impressive for Friday into Saturday. We'll watch trends. I'll actually just pull sounding. Why the hell not? Yeah, so yeah, this is really not a very unfavorable environment just by looking at the sounding here. Very low wind shear. Winds are basically perpendicular or parallel to your mid-levels. It's just not great on that one. So we'll see if things trend up. We may have to watch Florida and southern Georgia on Saturday afternoon for a little wind and isolated tornado threat. But once again, we'll see what happens. We'll see. Like I said, things can change drastically in a matter of a day or two. So once again, that's what I've got for you on the severe weather side of things. And then after that, we may see some actual severe weather return at some point in the future. So that's your European model. We'll talk GFS here. I mentioned the GFS and the European model have two different distinguishes in our troughing shape. Once again, just a ridiculous, ridiculous trough. I just cannot imagine having this same trough come through in March, April, or May would have had a significant, and I mean significant, severe weather outbreak yesterday if this would have been in the spring, but it's not, thank God. So we could have had a worst case scenario yesterday if this would have been March, April, or May, but it's not. So just that system's going to kick out of here, and the GFS pretty much agrees with the Euro, but it does keep that jet stream a little bit further to the north here. We have a low pressure system that'll be entering Southern California, some more rain potentially heading into Thursday and Friday here. You can see that ridge lifting to the north, your jet stream further to the north there as well. And then the GFS says, hey, we're going to keep things a little bit warmer than what the European is showing here through Friday into Saturday. You can see the GFS also has this shortwave trough also a little bit stronger here with our wind gradient further to the south of where the actual jet streak is at. These winds are a little bit more parallel here, so this may cause a little bit of a more isolated to scattered severe weather setup here. Once again, we'll see how things play out as we head into the week here, and then eventually as we go into next week, ridging, and then northwesterly flow, and the GFS just says, here comes Canada. So I think it's safe to say that both of our models do at some point show another cold blast of air coming down for most of the country. It's just when and where does it happen, and then the GFS says, hold a minute, we're going to bring some severe weather potentially into the future. But that will be subject to change. That is over 12 days out. I'm not really, buying into that stuff or anything like that. We'll just kind of see how things trend. What the GFS shows compared to the European is a subtropical jet stream emerging into the picture here. And once again, that subtropical jet stream that does come off of the Pacific Ocean is very, very key, guys, to the deep south's rainfall, snow chances, and severe weather. When you have a subtropical jet stream, that means moisture is continuing to trend north. You're going to have dew points. You're going to have instability potentially at times, depending on what air masses are on going north of it. That's a big factor. And the reason why the deep south has been so quiet so far, really in the last week or two, or maybe even the last month and a half, is because that subtropical jet stream has not been in place. And we need that to initiate things. You can't just have a storm system develop west and go east if there's not some type of connection deep south with it to, bring that moisture source up. So once again, something we're just going to have to watch here. And then after that, things get a little bit more uncertain. And you can see, like I said, here's one of the reasons why we had, some isolated scattered showers and thunderstorms with that moisture return with this trough that came in yesterday and today. The reason why we had severe weather in the Ohio Valley is because that trough was positioned up here. You had your jet streak a little bit negatively tilted. It pulled in that moisture. So that subtropical jet stream will just kind of help aid in that process. So something we're going to watch here. I believe, like I said, the temperature anomaly a little bit different than what the European said here. The GFS showing cold air further to the north here than what the European has. Warm air returns into the weekend here, and the GFS doesn't really see a cold blast of air until after the 10th, and if that, it brings it in really, really late. So I will mention, and this is something that I really pay attention to when I make my own forecast, when I, talk to you guys, both the GFS and the Euro do show this long range. And that's actually really interesting because model runs over 360 hours out don't typically agree like this. So we're going to have to see what happens, but both models do see another collapse potentially in our polar vortex, maybe just a pull of cold air coming down, something along the lines of this. So we will have to see how this plays out. That's in about 14 to 15 days, but trends will be our best friend. And you guys know that. Anytime we are discussing whether we want trends, we don't want one standard model run just kind of thrown out there. We want to see trends. So we will keep you guys updated on how this trend goes, if this trend stays. If not, we will have something different to talk about next time. So something I'm watching here very, very, very closely. The GFS also showing as well here multiple Clipper systems coming to the Ohio Valley, the Midwest, the Great Lakes through this weekend. And then there's our system on Friday, a little bit more buoyant with the rainfall there Friday and Saturday with that system. And then GFS just does some really interesting stuff into the future. This is what I was talking about right here. This is that subtropical jet stream. Look at all that rain showing up here for next week. This is what I really, really want to watch. I don't know if we'll get severe weather out of this, but I do think a beneficial rainfall is on the way as we head into next week, potentially for the southeast. And we'll see if the low pressure system develops. No, that's not a tropical storm or hurricane. That's just a low developing in the Gulf. This time of the year, if this happens. And a lot of the times, believe it or not, this is something I thought about this just now. If we could get the Europeans model run showing that dip in the jet stream to line up with what the GFS was showing with this system, we would have snow down in the deep south, 100%. But the GFS shows a system, no cold air. The European shows no system with cold air. So you guys can see kind of what we're looking at. So if you're in the deep south and you want snow, I don't know. I know it's going to happen. We need some things to agree, and we need some things to come together. So there's time for that to change, but right now, not showing that, and then the GFS just goes really weird at this point with another snowstorm going toward the middle of the month. So we got a lot of things to watch, figure out, discuss, get through, all of that stuff, etc. Yeah, Ohio yesterday, Kentucky, anybody in the Ohio Valley Midwest yesterday, if you were in the 60s and the 70s, welcome to a slap in the face from Canada coming down with our cold Arctic air, because this is what happens in December and in January. So we typically can get these warm-ups and cold air comes down, and then you get a big changeover with your temperatures. So it's as expected here. I will say GFS does have a little bit more instability to work with both Friday and Saturday, so we'll watch that. And then instability just really not going to be there for severe weather, at least as of right now. We may get, this is a little far out, but got some decent instability popping up for Florida. Yes, Florida can see severe weather during this winter months, if you guys did not know that as well. Very, very much possible. So that's an interesting signal toward the end of the month, but I'm not going to look at that yet. Looks like we may start to have some jet stream potential that pulls in instability. So I do watch that as well, potentially for the future, but these are two separate model runs. So let me go back here. Let's go back to that radar. pull this up so you guys can see here. Once again, blue here is snow. Green and pink and all that's rain, freezing rain. We got a lot of snowfall coming down here out of the Great Lakes. All this is northwesterly flow. So, all right, I'll get some questions answered, guys, for just a few minutes here, and then that's pretty much what I've got for y'all today. I just wanted to get on here, do an update. As you guys can see, we have a brand new stream set up. A lot of things have changed. I've been working hard getting stuff changed here. There's another snow squall warning for the northern Ohio area there as we continue to see heavy snow bands coming down. What weather are we watching? Just really snowfall right now. It's just really the snow. In reality, guys, the weather is going to be really, really, really boring, but I have to get on here and tell myself that I can still get on here and talk to you guys about it every single day, even though it's boring. So, but yeah, a lot of snow, cold air, maybe some severe weather this weekend. We'll see what happens. Buffalo, New York, yeah, you guys are getting slammed, and I'm pretty sure that snow squall warning that just came out is for in and around this area, so definitely getting slammed with snow there. Winds tonight, the winds are brutal. Let me actually go back to that here briefly. I want to show you guys that. I meant to do that. Yeah, look at these wind gusts. You know, we're definitely going to feel it with the front, and as this front comes through tonight, some 50s, some 60s, some 40s across PA here, that system will come down, and then we'll get another system this week, but yeah. Definitely some 40s and 50s, maybe even some, 60s at times. It's possible. Then another system, and then another system. But yeah, you can get the gist here on what we're looking at. The massive, massive storm system here. These wind gusts are all the way down as far down as the deep south, which is kind of crazy. So, I do, Marty. I do. Yes, I do. Whew. So, now that I have flown through all the information, questions. I know you'll gotta have questions. Oh, speaking of which, too, while I wait for y'all to answer questions or to ask questions, I will have a video. I didn't post videos today. I gotta play how to go get some shopping and stuff done. I plan on having a video / stream tomorrow. I will not be on here or have videos for New Year's Eve. I have to be on the road to drive to Indiana to go run a 5K at like noon on Wednesday in the brutal cold. So I will be MIA on Wednesday. And starting on January 1st, we will be full-time. Videos will be out 7 o'clock every single morning, and as well as a live stream every single morning and afternoon. So I will be on a routine schedule in about 2 days with you guys. So you're going to get tired of me. You'll get tired of me once again. So, but we'll be on here. We'll be cranking things out. When can Kansas City see a snowstorm? When we get moisture to set up properly overlap with your cold air. You got cold air, you just don't have a lot of moisture. That's the problem. What's chat's in Florida today? No, absolutely not. Is this a storm or a wind warning? I mean, it's both combined. You got a lot of snow falling across the area here, combined with the storm system that's coming through. Yes, a little bit of both. Yeah, Illinois, just wind for you guys. You could see a snowflake or two, especially if you're further to the northern side of Illinois, but it just really depends. It all depends. Well, I don't see a lot of questions from you guys, so... Guys, I still can't get over it. We almost got hit by a tornado last night here. We had a tornado get confirmed this morning 5 minutes up the road from us. Literally 5 minutes. And me and Rochelle were outside last night watching it come through. The line of thunderstorms come through. And they had a tornado warning to the left of us. And they dropped it the second the line of storms got here. And then it decided to produce a tornado. We saw 2 power flashes literally across the road. And Rochelle's pretty sure she saw a tree sway almost over all the way. She ended up getting a picture of the... I think she said she got a wall cloud picture on her phone. She had to take it through like the nighttime lapse thing. But... yeah, crazy stuff. Another missed call by our lovely National Weather Service. So, seems to be a trend this year and last year. What's going to happen in Indiana? Some isolated snow showers possibly for northern Indiana. You could see a snowflake or two down towards central Indiana, but in terms of southern Indiana, it's just going to be cold and windy. It's going to be cold and windy the next couple days. NWS posts them on the reports. I just see the reports from social media, so... Yeah, Mount Zion, Illinois. I saw that. It looked to be, honestly, from the video that I saw a couple of the storm chasers that posted it as well. It looked to be a multi-vortex tornado, a pretty violent tornado. I would think EF2 potential plus damage with that, maybe even EF3 damage with that. I'm not going to like speculate too much on it, but it looked to definitely be EF2 plus damage off of that squall line that came through. It was definitely a strong QLCS, if not embedded supercell tornado. Louisville also almost had a tornado warning last night. They were just outside of one as well. Well, Robert, though, technically, tornado season is all year round, but if you want to go off of, like, spring season, sure, technically. But tornadoes, actually, guys, some of the biggest tornado outbreaks in the last 20 years have happened in December. 2018, December. 2021, December. 2006, December. You get, and a lot of people don't think about that. You have all that warm, moist air coming out of the Gulf. You have that cold air coming down out of Canada. You get a lot of wind shear, and boom, you get severe weather outbreaks. They happen. It's a lot more common than people think. The 2011 outbreak, the super outbreak. Hi, Paige. Good to see you. The 2011 super outbreak was in, well, it was in April. We had a couple of them. We had the April one, 27th, 28th, 29th, 26th, 25th. The outbreak. I was like, what, 10 years old when that happened? By the way, guys, if you don't follow Paige there in the chat as well, she is one of my great friends. She is an amazing storm chaser and does some amazing content here on TikTok. Please, please, please go check her out and give her a follow. She's awesome and I love her. Great friend of mine. I have lots of great friends. Apparently, I have way too many friends. Thank you guys for the heart me's. I appreciate y'all very, very, very much. South Florida, thank you. Donna, thank you. Marissa, thank you. So, but yeah, I'm kind of bummed, guys. I didn't get to cover yesterday, but like I said, I was working on this whole new stream setup for you guys. So eventually, too, when I have storm chasers, hopefully I'll have some storm chasers that are going to chase for me next year. They'll be able to have their streams up on top of the map up here. So you guys can see how I have 4 different things up top of the radar screen up there. I've put that in there, but I've also got spots for where I can have storm chasing up, cameras up, stuff like that, when we look at cameras for different areas and stuff like that. So I've been working on this over the last 48 hours trying to get all this set up. So that's why I wasn't on here covering yesterday on top of being in the risk zone, but we are here. We are ready to go. When the next severe weather event happens, my ass will be in this chair covering for you guys. I also start school in like 12 days. So I will be taking a lovely, lovely Calculus 1 class, doing about 60 hours of homework every single week on top of that. So lots of joyful times ahead for me. Windy in Jersey tonight. Yeah, you guys are going to be about 30 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts. Yeah, T, you were close to that too. Very, very close. The CC on that, I'm almost shocked that the tornado warning wasn't PDS. They observed it, but it never went PDS. That when the CC drop popped up, it was pretty small to start with, and then it kind of looked like the debris signature kind of dispersed because it looked like there was a pretty decent sized tornado on the ground. I'm pretty sure at one point it should have been PDS, but it wasn't. So I don't think a lot of the National Weather Service offices yesterday were like thinking yesterday was going to be anything crazy. You got to go into every single severe weather event knowing that it could either go crazy or not go crazy. So that's how it just is sometimes. So, but we'll see what happens. I will say, guys, March, April, and May are not far. And when we get going, when severe weather season really does get going back in March, April, and May, it's going to get busy. It's going to get super, super, super busy. 3 active alerts are snow squall warnings. We have snow squalls up in northern Ohio and as well as in and around Lake Erie. So, lots of snow coming down right now for lots of people. Fun stuff, fun times. Yeah, bro, I saw a couple videos of it as well. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Yeah, condolences to the people in Canada that can deal with this wind all day long. It is brutal up there as well. It was a marginally and a slight risk, but both there yesterday for Illinois. So the risk zone was spot on. The risk zone was so spot on yesterday. I think yesterday was the first time I actually agreed with the Storm Prediction Center's like placement of the outlook. We were in a slight risk. Illinois and Indiana that were in a slight risk that saw. I mean, it was spot on yesterday. They did spot on with it. Absolutely amazing with their outlook, and that's very rare that I ever agree with like the outlook full on. Sometimes it's moved in a different. There's a lot of things. So, is it going to snow in Louisville? Probably not. Probably not. You could see a flurry, but probably not. Thank you guys for the follows. I appreciate it very, very, very much. Also, guys, just so y'all don't freak out, I wear glasses now when I'm on. I haven't done it yet. I kind of forgot. I have glasses now that I wear because they're blue light glasses to help me when I am streaming for a long time or gaming for a long time. So this is going to be something y'all are going to have to get adjusted to, and I have to adjust to it, but it helps my eyes to where I don't get migraines and headaches when I'm streaming, which is happening a lot here recently. So there you go. Yay. I look more of like a weather nerd with them on now. But yeah, I have to wear glasses apparently here and there. So it helps. It actually does work and it helps. So no, there haven't been any confirmed or there haven't been any ratings yet, and I think one of them may potentially be EF2 plus. We'll see, but I haven't seen there are 2 EF3s. No, not yet. Is there going to be snow in Texas? Not anytime soon. If you're over in like Odessa, Midland, there is a band of snow coming through there now, but I don't know how much of that is actually falling. Just kind of depends. What's up, Weston's weather-wise? How are you? Good to see you guys coming in on YouTube as well. Hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, there's a 3 EF1 sounds about right. We'll see what happens. Boone, Iowa. Iowa's clear. You guys are just going to be cold. Really, really cold. No, you're too far from the moisture. By the way, guys, quick teaching moment. You'll see a lot of people on social media that have no weather knowledge, or that want to believe in conspiracy theories. But I'm losing my mind for a minute. But these blobs here, these are just the radar beams coming out of the radar. So for anybody that thinks that like this is like something crazy ongoing, it's not. These blobs you're seeing, that is the cold air aloft in the atmosphere that basically shows the radar beams when the radar shoots out beams and pulls them back in, and that's how we read radar and all that stuff. That's what you're seeing here. So a lot of people will post this on social media to get views, and they're like, oh, it's HARP, it's all this other BS, which doesn't exist, by the way. Anyways, that's what this is. So I just wanted to clear that up too before somebody said, oh, look, they're harping the radars. No, that doesn't exist, sorry. I don't believe in any of that nonsense. It's not been proven. It's all conspiracy theory. Just like the conspiracy theory that major cities can't get hit by tornadoes. St. Louis saw an EF3 this year. Fort Worth, Texas saw an EF2 this year. We've seen many other cities this year see tornadoes, so that's also not a thing. Hoping for snow in January in Northeast Oklahoma. It's very possible weather-wise. It's very possible. Depending on how this trough sets up going into the first 2 weeks, it would be absolutely possible. Also, Bree, thank you guys for the gifts. Chris, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate you guys very, very, very much. Donna as well, thank you guys for the gifts. Y'all are awesome. Detroit, Michigan. You got snow. You got heavy band snow coming up there where you guys are at right now. So it is moving in. PA looks like they're getting ready to get a pretty decent... this band that's coming off of Cleveland right now. If this can continue to work its way southeast here, this will end up going towards Butler and Pittsburgh. Hello, XCap. So we'll have to watch that. Some heavy band snow up here near Clearfield, Bellefontaine, Lockhaven. Fort Wayne is getting blasted right now with heavy snowfall. That is a lot of snow falling right there. Let me actually... Crazy warning. Yeah, you're telling me. Crazy warning yesterday. Yeah, decent banding setting up here. Look at that. Oh, and they're about to get more on top of it, too. Yeah, Sharon is not far. Yeah, and I was gonna say you'll probably get in on some of that snow here too. I'll take a little bit of a closer look here. Yeah, Cleveland. Look at this. Just outside the northern side of the city. Look at all this. Ugh, huge snow squall coming in. It says snow squall, not snot squall. Snow squall. Lots of snow coming in here, and then like I said, that'll drift southeast. It should drift southeast. Pittsburgh is about to get in on some of it here. Yep, you can start to see some of those darker returns showing up here. So absolutely coming in here. What's the best weather app for iPhone? So there is a new app that I'm hoping to get here soon and replace potentially Radar Omega with. It's called Weatherfront. I can't really run WeatherWise on my computer until I get it figured out. It's very, very hard to run. It's like very slow on my computer, so I've got to figure out how to get that fixed. But Weatherfront is a new app that's come out here. It's pretty well. You can use Radar Omega. It's not bad, as you can see. But I'm probably going to have some switch ups here soon. My radar's also good. There's a lot of really good radar apps to track on in terms of that. But in terms of like a forecast weather app, stay away from the Weather Channel. Stay away from them. Stay away from AccuWeather. AccuWeather's not accurate. They're not. Yeah. They don't do the good stuff. Sorry, but I try not to like down anybody, but I just know. And please, if you have an iPhone, do not use the standard weather app that comes with your iPhone. It's never right. Ever. Ever. My phone says this. No, it's not. It's not. The standard weather app that comes on your iPhone is wrong. I cannot stand it at all. It's awful. Stay away from the big corporations. Absolutely. Support the smaller ones. So, I mean, you guys can literally just check on, there's another one. You guys can literally just check on the National Weather Service, type in your zip code, and you can get like an actual forecast for your area. And it's free, and like you just can just browse it. So, it always puts me, yeah, literally though. Literally, it does that too. It does that too, Stacia. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Crazy blizzard in Minnesota yesterday. Yeah, I saw that as well. Lots of heavy snowfall. People were getting stuck on the roadways and stuff yesterday. Yeah, I've got to get WeatherWise. I might play around with that here this afternoon. I keep saying I'm going to do that, but I need to explore a little bit more and get it figured out and how I can put it in here with it not making my computer super slow. But yeah, I do like what they have on there. It's not bad. It does say that. It does. Yeah, I can't do the Weather Channel or the standard weather app on your phone. Just no bueno. Not happening. So, well, guys, I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do for the rest of my day today. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of my day today. I'm kind of like sitting in that like mindset of like, I've got everything done for today, but I don't know what to do. I do have Monday Night Football to watch tonight. Ooh, football talk. Do I have, okay, this is going to be a shamed question probably. Do I have any Carolina Panther fans in the stream? Because I'm a diehard fan. Did I have anybody? Probably not. I probably don't have a single person. I'm probably about to be losing my following just for making that comment. We have a super exciting game on Saturday against Tampa, and if we win, we get into the playoffs for the first time since like 2017. So I'm hoping that game goes well. If not, I'm going to be really irritated on Saturday. Lots of good football games yesterday. The Eagles beat the Bills. That was an interesting game to watch yesterday. The 49ers and the Bears game last night was really interesting to watch. Probably one of the most craziest back and forth games I've watched all season. The Steelers got beat by the Cleveland Browns. I'm sorry. Hopefully y'all can beat the Ravens next week and get in the playoffs. What else happened yesterday? I can't remember. That's most of the games that I ended up watching yesterday. I know, right? Oh. I know they are. I've been watching their games. Have been pretty good to watch too. The NFL this year has been so wild. It's been like the most randomest things. It's been crazy. I'm hoping Atlanta, for whatever miraculous reason, beats the Rams tonight. Sorry for any Rams fans in here. I'm hoping that happens because there's a wild situation where if we lose to Tampa on Saturday, I gotta say Saturday because they moved our game on Saturday to 4:30, so I'll be watching the game on Saturday now. If Tampa beats us, which could happen, it's possible. We suck. We got destroyed by Seattle yesterday. If Atlanta beats the Rams and then beats the Saints next week, we get in by default because of a better record of opponents. So we technically have 2 ways in, and my team has been a losing team for the last 7 years now, and it's been awful. So, how do you get on? Wait, what, Micah? I'm so confused what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Southeastern Kentucky going to get any more than an inch of snow anytime soon? Probably not. Doesn't look like it. I might do a game stream tonight. We'll see, Justin. It's possible. I might do one. I may have to go grab Hazel in a minute because she's crying. Am I in Ohio? Am I good? Cold air, some snow showers possibly. Northern Ohio is getting slammed with cold air and snow right now, but outside of that, yeah. What's up, Lucas? We're actually just about to get off here too, guys. So I'm getting ready to get off here in about 5 minutes. Get off here in 5 minutes. Go Broncos. Heck yeah, mad respect for them this year. They're doing amazing. Great team to watch. Fun team to watch. How are the bands looking in Northeast Ohio? Dude, the bands are setting up. I mean, if you're north of Cleveland, it's great for you. If you're south of Cleveland and west of it, not great. Let's check Detroit. I mean, you got some decent bands coming down here. It'll take some time, but that's the general flow here. Do I watch college football? You know, I'm a Clemson fan because I grew up in Western North Carolina, so I watched Clemson. That was my team. But clearly they didn't make it this year. So, I don't really have like a team I'm bandwagoning on or anything. I'll watch it. It's fun to watch. But I don't have like a specific team outside Clemson. Limo, Ohio, snow potentially for you guys. Can I hear it on and off? And then just cold. It's gonna be cold and windy for most. That's really the theme for most of the Ohio Valley. Oh. Justin, Mississippi, quiet, mild. Should have a little cold blast of air come down, I believe, through tonight once the cold front comes through, if you haven't had it already. And then watching for a little ticket severe weather as we head into this weekend. I'll miss her the best you can go for them. I saw they they destroyed, who was it? Was it Tulane is who they played last week? Tulane, I think, is who they played, if I'm right. They destroyed them. Yeah, that's what I thought. I do have football knowledge, guys. Pretty surprising football knowledge outside of weather. I am a huge football person. I definitely am. So, but I got about 2 minutes, guys, left on stream here before I'm gonna wrap things up. We might hop back on here for another update tonight if models do anything crazy. If not, I'll be back here tomorrow with a video for you guys, depending on when I get my butt up, because tomorrow is technically my last day of sleeping before I start a new schedule going into, well, not tomorrow, technically I have 2 more days. I'll probably have a video for you guys tomorrow. If not, we may just hop on a stream. Sometimes I just want to get on here and hop on a stream and talk to you guys and then do a video later. We'll see. But starting January 1st, I'll have a consistent. Bryce, it was interesting yesterday, dude. I guess you had to be in Eastern Illinois yesterday for that 5% to verify, but down here in Southern Indiana and Western Kentucky, we had our fair share of tornadoes last night. We had 8 at one point, like an hour away from our house. It was definitely crazy, for sure. There was one in California on Christmas. Yes, there was. The Santa Cruz area. I do remember it. Hello, Teresa. But yeah, it is insane. But they get those a lot, too, those atmospheric rivers that set up over there as well. So, yeah, that southern storm was the one to be and it's so hard, dude. It's so hard. I wouldn't beat yourself up about it. It's so hard to be in the right spot at the right time when you've got a setup like that. Yesterday's setup had a lot of fail modes, but it also had like the if instability was there, and it was, if the sheer everything lined up was there. Yesterday, I think overall pretty much went up to fruition with the exception of some areas. And it's also hard to chase those wind-driven events too. The QLCS threats are a little bit harder, but just stay poised. You'll get a couple of chances as we go into the new year, hopefully. We'll have some potential severe weather setups coming at some point. So, Alrighty, my lovely peeps. I'm going to get off here and probably go game for a little bit, do something, work on some stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do. Y'all stay safe, enjoy your snow, stay warm, bundled up. I'll be fresh for a video for you guys tomorrow and a stream at some point tomorrow. And if anything crazy changes or anything like that, I will have a video for you guys this evening. But other than that, y'all stay warm, stay safe. I appreciate all the love, all the support, all the follows, all the subscriptions on YouTube, all the taps, all the people joining. And all of my lovely weather team for hopping in as well, if you hopped in. And we'll see y'all back in here tomorrow. Bye, y'all.